Australia invests $3.9 billion to launch AUKUS Nuclear Submarine Construction Yard. The Australian government confirmed a $3.9 billion investment to launch full-scale construction of the future AUKUS nuclear-powered attack submarine construction yard at Osborne in South Australia, a cornerstone facility for building the nation's future conventionally armed, nuclear-powered submarines. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese described the funding as a decisive step from design and workforce preparation into physical delivery, positioning Osborne as the industrial heart of Australia's SSN AUKUS program under the trilateral partnership with the United States and the United Kingdom. The Osborne Submarine Construction Yard will form the core of Australia's sovereign nuclear-powered submarine enterprise. Once operational, it will position Australia among a very limited group of nations capable of constructing nuclear-powered attack submarines domestically. Australian naval infrastructure projects that total long-term investment in the yard and associated precinct could reach approximately $30 billion over the coming decades, reflecting both the technical demands of nuclear submarine production and the ambition to sustain a continuous build cycle. The AUKUS partnership, unveiled in September 2021 by Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, is built around two central pillars. Pillar I focuses on delivering nuclear-powered submarines to the Royal Australian Navy. At the same time, Pillar II broadens trilateral cooperation in advanced military technologies, including undersea warfare systems, artificial intelligence, cyber capabilities, quantum technologies, and hypersonic weapons. For Canberra, the submarine component represents a generational transformation from diesel-electric propulsion to long-endurance, nuclear-powered operations capable of sustained deployment across the vast Indo-Pacific theater. Under the 2023 Phased Submarine Roadmap, Australia's transition will unfold in 3 stages. Beginning as early as 2027, U.S. Navy Virginia-class and Royal Navy Astute-class submarines will increase rotational deployments to Western Australia under the Submarine Rotational Force West initiative. This measure is designed to accelerate Australian crew certification, regulatory preparedness, and port infrastructure upgrades necessary for nuclear-powered vessel operations. In the early 2030s, Australia is expected to acquire at least 3 U.S. Virginia-class nuclear-powered attack submarines, with an option to acquire 2 additional boats, depending on U.S. industrial capacity and congressional authorization. These submarines will provide an interim operational capability as Australia prepares its own production lines at Osborne. The long-term objective centers on the joint development and production of the SSN AUKUS class, a next-generation nuclear-powered attack submarine design based primarily on the United Kingdom's future SSN concept and incorporating U.S. propulsion systems and combat technologies. The first UK-built SSN AUKUS is scheduled to begin construction in the late 2020s, with entry into Royal Navy service projected for the late 2030s. In Australia, assembly of the first domestically built SSN AUKUS submarine is expected to begin in the early 2030s at Osborne, with delivery to the Royal Australian Navy projected in the early 2040s. Current defence planning indicates Australia intends to field a fleet of approximately 8 nuclear-powered attack submarines. At least 5 of these boats are expected to be constructed domestically at Osborne, forming the enduring backbone of Australia's undersea deterrent. The Collins-class submarines will undergo life-of-type extensions to maintain operational availability into the 2030s, bridging the capability gap until the arrival of Virginia-class transfers and, subsequently, Australian-built SSN AUKUS vessels. From a technical perspective, the SSN AUKUS submarines are expected to displace more than 8,000 tons submerged, placing them in the same category as contemporary Western nuclear-powered attack submarines. Powered by sealed nuclear reactors provided under AUKUS arrangements, the boats will remain conventionally armed but capable of months-long submerged endurance without snorkeling. This endurance significantly enhances stealth, survivability, and operational reach compared to diesel-electric predecessors. The design is expected to integrate advanced sonar arrays, electronic warfare suites, heavyweight torpedoes, and vertical launch systems capable of deploying long-range cruise missiles. Pump jet propulsion is anticipated to reduce acoustic signature, improving survivability in contested anti-submarine warfare environments. Collectively, these characteristics will provide the Royal Australian Navy with credible sea denial, intelligence gathering, and long-range strike capabilities across the Indo-Pacific maritime domain. The infrastructure rising at Osborne reflects these demanding requirements. The new yard will comprise 3 primary operational zones. Area 1 will include a 420-meter-long fabrication hall, approximately 2.5 times the length of Adelaide Oval, enabling modular block construction techniques similar to those used in US and UK nuclear submarine shipyards. Pressure hull sections, reactor compartments, and mission modules will be fabricated in parallel before final consolidation. Area 2 will focus on outfitting, where propulsion components, combat systems, sensors, and weapons integration will occur under tightly controlled conditions. Area 3 will house consolidation, testing, launch, and commissioning facilities, incorporating heavy lift systems, specialized safety infrastructure, and certification processes tailored for nuclear-powered platforms. The total floor area of the submarine construction yard is expected to be 10 times larger than the existing Osborne South development. Construction of the facility is projected to require 66 million person-hours and approximately 126,000 tons of structural steel, equivalent to the weight of steel used in 17 Eiffel Towers. Enabling works are estimated at approximately $2 billion, while the purpose-built Skills and Training Academy is expected to require more than $500 million in investment. The Skills and Training Academy, with its first intake planned for 2028, is designed to support up to 1,000 learners annually. Nuclear submarine construction demands extreme precision in pressure hull welding, shock resistance, acoustic damping, systems integration, and quality assurance. Establishing a domestic workforce capable of meeting these standards is essential to sustaining long-term sovereign production rather than relying indefinitely on allied shipyards. The Osborne precinct already hosts Collins-class sustainment facilities and the Hunter-class frigate shipyard, creating a concentrated naval industrial hub in South Australia. Supporting infrastructure continues to expand, including the recently completed Urimbla Way Link Road connecting Pelican Point Road directly to the shipyard, improving secure access and logistical efficiency for heavy modules and sensitive components. At peak activity, approximately 4,000 workers are expected to be engaged in constructing the yard itself, with around 5,500 personnel supporting nuclear-powered submarine production at maximum output. This concentration of industrial capability reflects Australia's ambition to maintain continuous naval shipbuilding well into the second half of the century. The $3.9 billion down payment announced on February 15, 2026, is therefore not a symbolic gesture but the opening phase of a multi-decade transformation of Australia's naval power. As steel fabrication advances and workforce training accelerates at Osborne, the foundations are being laid for an 8-submarine nuclear-powered fleet designed to secure Australia's undersea deterrence and operational reach across the Indo-Pacific for generations.